Hi, are you an experienced Eclipse user who is considering switching or using Intellij IDEA? Then this video is for you. Hi and welcome to the channel. I am Nilton from craftofprogramming.com. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to press the bell icon to be notified about regular content that is posted here. Also, at the end of this video, if you found this useful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And lastly, don't forget to leave a comment below on ways to improve this video moving forward, as well as leave any comments or questions you may have. Let's get started. So in a previous video, I already covered the concepts of projects and modules in Intellij IDEA. I'm not going to cover those concepts here. If you are completely new to Intellij, which I'm assuming you are, please refer to that video, which is included in the Intellij playlist. But the point here is that in Intellij you don't have the concept of an Eclipse workspace. So you must have a project in order to open an Intellij project, in order to open the IDE. So this is an actual an existing Intellij project that I'm opening. So before we dive into additional differences, let's see the key differences in terms of terminology between Intellij and Eclipse. So as you know, Eclipse has this concept of workspace, which is effectively a container of projects. It's just a folder where we put projects, and in Intellij it maps to the concept of a project, which is just a container for modules. And the similar concept of a module in Eclipse is a project. So a workspace in Eclipse maps to the concept of a project in Intellij, whereas the concept of a project in Eclipse maps to the concept of module. Again, please refer to my video tutorial on project and modules for you to have an in-depth understanding of these two concepts. And in Eclipse there is this concept of JRE, in IDEA it's SDK, and this is just a small detail. So another big thing for developers is obviously the keyboard shortcut, so let's cover that. So in a previous video in Intellij setup, which is actually split in 3 video tutorials, I have already covered the keymaps and how to customize them. I'm just mentioning them here because I want to talk about the keyboard shortcuts, which is by far, when I was a few years ago converting from Eclipse to Intellij, by far this was the biggest barrier. There is a keymap for Windows as well as one for Mac, and there are other keymaps as well. Print them, have it next to your desk, and refer to it often. Now, Intellij supports many different keymaps, and in particular it supports the Eclipse keymap or keyboard shortcuts. So one thing that you can do, and I'll show you, you can basically use the Eclipse keymap in Intellij so that you get going and you get started. But what I want to show you here is that the mapping between the features of Intellij is not 100%. It doesn't overlap the feature set of Intellij and Eclipse, and as a result, if you use the Eclipse keymap in Intellij, you're going to be missing out on some powerful features that Intellij supports. In this particular case, for example, Eclipse has just one type of code completion, whereas Intellij has 3. And again, if you just use the Eclipse keymap, you'll not be aware of this other completion. And this is yet another example where, just to highlight that the feature set is not, it doesn't completely overlap. So now that we covered the differences in keyboard shortcuts, we're going to be talking about differences in the look and feel of the IDE, user interface differences, and the general workflow as developers we use, as well as differences in compilation. So just to wrap up what I was saying about the key map or keyboard shortcuts, if I type key map, as you can see, Intellij IDE comes packaged with all of these key maps, and you can use, change to the Eclipse key map so that you have the Eclipse keyboards. So one easy way for you to learn the keyboard shortcuts of Intellij IDE is through Control-Shift-A, which is find action. And basically, this enables you to learn the shortcuts as you go. So for example, you want to learn how to do code completion. Just type code completion. And you see that you have the basic code completion and the smart code completion. Do you want to know how to navigate? Just type navigate, and you will see how to go to a class, or to a declaration, or to a file. Do you want to know how to duplicate the line? Just type duplicate, Control D, or delete a line, Control Y, expand selection, go to the base class, Control U, and so on. So you get the idea. So you can memorize the keyboard shortcuts for Intellij IDE, or you can transition using Eclipse keyboard shortcuts, or you can learn the keyboard shortcuts by using the find action. Let's move on. One other thing I want to mention about the user interface is that, for me personally, I think Eclipse feels more, at least on Windows, more like a native Windows application. And Intellij IDE, because it's a Swing app, it doesn't quite feel so well integrated with Windows in terms of the native look and feel. So moving on the user interface, one big thing that you are going to miss in Intellij IDE is perspectives. So as you can see here, as you know very well, we have this concept of Java perspective, and then we have a debugging perspective, and we can have version control perspectives and so on, and we can configure the Eclipse to actually switch from basically, for example, to the debugging perspective when you're running a test. So in Intellij IDE, because it doesn't have the concept of perspectives, things just happen, naturally, so to speak. So, for example, if I want to run a test, and I have here a class where I run it, and I just run the test, then notice that the tool window for the test automatically, gets activated, displayed and activated. Or also, if I were to debug this test, then I would have a debugger window, that will be activated, and I would be able to have all the usual debugging steps, as well as being able to watch the variables and so on. So in Eclipse, as you know, there is the save actions that you can configure, and this is basically the actions that the IDE will take when you perform a save, and you can decide what to do here. So Intellij IDE doesn't have this concept of save action. It has basically actions that are taken, similar actions, before you commit the code. So if you go to the commit window, in here you basically can reformat the code, rearrange the code, optimize imports and so on, and or clean up based on the rules that you define. And this is the things that are going to happen before you commit the code. So there is really no way to, unlike in Eclipse, to actually bind a set of actions to when you save the file. So another thing that Intellij IDE differs from Eclipse is there is no concept of automatically compilation. So as you know, in Eclipse, for example, let's illustrate. As you know this very well, let's just, for the sake of the example here, let's just break this code. So notice that two things automatically happen, right? So the first thing is that now we have this problem window here where we see all these, 31 compilation errors, number one. And number two, in the code, right, we already see that, it's the file itself is marked as, there is that X, and we see here, and it's highlighted there. So we clearly see that, the change that we made actually, broke the compilation. So in IntelliJ, let's do the same change and see what happens. But first, let's see the usages of this method. So notice that move to index here in the excerpt Taylor interface is being used invoked by quite a bit of places. So let's open, for example, rolling chronicle queue test, and perhaps chronicle reader execute. And as you can see, this method is being invoked here in the test, and obviously as well here in the main chronicle queue class. So let's make that change in the interface. So this is a change that's going to break the compilation, and notice what happens. So IntelliJ is telling us that yes, this call is invalid, so it breaks the compilation, and the editor is actually being highlighted as in error. But notice that this test class, which we saw that it's also being invoking that method, and chronicle reader, they are not being highlighted as being in error. Moreover, unlike Eclipse, you don't have the problems tool window. As you can see, it's not here, where you can see what the problems are. So I've changed the interface, which is used by quite a bit of places, and I'm only notified that one class broke, right? So notice that if I now activate this editor, then only then it indicates as, there is a compilation error. And the reason is because of this behavior of how IntelliJ behaves in terms of compilation. Remember that only when the frame is activated, then the file is synchronized, and only then IntelliJ detects that a change. So one way to fix this, or I should say, if you don't like this behavior, which seems very static for an Eclipse user, is to actually tweak, is basically to customize the compiler settings. So you go to build execution deployment, you click compiler, and you check this box that says build project automatically. Okay, and also go to Java compiler and use the Eclipse compiler. So now with those changes, let's see what happens. Let's make the same change. It breaks the compilation, and let's see what happens. So notice that one key difference happens here. Firstly, all of the editors, even one that is not the ones that are not activated, are being marked as in error, right? But also something else also happened. Now we have these problems tool window, just like Eclipse. So in here you see all the places where your change basically broke. Okay. So again, if you want a behavior similar like Eclipse, you make those two settings change, and boom, IntelliJ behaves closer to Eclipse. So lastly, I would like to show you a few things that I am missing from Eclipse, that I don't see them being supported in IntelliJ, or at least in the same way that I was used to in Eclipse. So moving on with the things that I'm missing in IntelliJ features. So one is the structure. So this is basically the outline that you have, the type outline that you have in Eclipse. So one thing that I don't see here is basically the order of the fields and methods and inner classes matching the how they are declared in source code. You can change the sorting by here visibility or alphabetically. Also, you cannot change. This is a pretty static view in that you can't really do much, in the outline. As I'll show shortly, you can move things around that you select, and here you can't really do much. In Eclipse, however, the outline, which is equivalent to the structure tool window in IntelliJ, not only the order that the elements are actually defined here matches the source code order, and obviously I can also change the sorting order, but I can actually move things around. This is a much more interactive, dynamic window, so I can just grab stuff and move it, and change the order, and this actually reflects it, what's actually happens in code. And I can do this, not only with fields, obviously I can do this with methods, and move them before the inner class. So another thing I can do here is I can actually delete. I can select stuff, pull, and I can delete it from here. And it asks me if I want to delete. I say yes. So let me show you one other thing, which, again, these are miscellaneous items, but things that I miss. So I've got here a local variable, and obviously I can convert it to a field if I wish to. So I'm here in IntelliJ, and notice that I don't have that option. I don't have an option to convert this local variable to a field. So another thing that I miss in Eclipse is the ability to, in a logical way, to create a type. So I can create, I go to File, New, and I have an option for class, for an interface, for an enum. Now in IntelliJ, let's see what we have. So what happened to the ability to the option to create an interface or an enum? So where is it? How can I create an interface or an enum in IntelliJ? Well, you'll be surprised to know that it's this option, Java class. So you type Java class, and then in this window there is a kind option that you specify interface or enum. This is really awkward. So this concludes this short video tutorial on the key differences between IntelliJ and Eclipse from the perspective of an experienced Eclipse user that is transitioning or considering transition to IntelliJ.